Hey guys, Jeb here. You might be wondering to yourself, Jeb, should I really be bullish on the fundamentals of Bitcoin? Yes, you should. So here are 7 reasons in 2 minutes that the future of currency is the king of crypto. Number 1, deflationary permanence. Bitcoin will only ever have 21 million Bitcoin in existence, and of those, 18.5 million have already been mined. What that means is that Bitcoin has a hard cap on the circulating supply. This means unlike every single other currency and commodity in the history of mankind, Bitcoin has an absolute hard cap that cannot be breached. That means by its very nature that it is deflationary and it cannot be hyperinflated, which leads us into our second point. Bitcoin will raise hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. Looking all throughout history, from the fall of the Roman Empire to the West African slave trade, to the German economy post-World War I in the early 20th century, to the Venezuelan bolivar, to the Zimbabwe dollar. Every time in human history that mass poverty shows up, it happens because of a currency crisis. Those currency crises happen because the supply is inflated, and that means that a lot of poverty comes from the hyperinflation of a currency, which cannot happen with Bitcoin. Therefore, as more and more people transition away from inflatable currencies to Bitcoin, which is non-hyperinflationary, Bitcoin will raise millions of people out of poverty. Number 3, digital gold for a digital world. Gold is worth hundreds of % more today than it was even just 15 years ago. And all throughout history, because of the difficulty of increasing its supply because of its limited supply in the Earth's crust, it has maintained and gained value over the history of humankind. The problem with gold is that it has to be stored somewhere, and it's a physical object. We're moving into a digital world where data replaces steel, and much of our net worth is electronic anyway. Bitcoin is the logical next step and evolution of gold, a non-inflationary commodity. Unhackable. The cost of a 51% attack on Bitcoin is approaching $1 billion in hardware cost alone, let alone operational costs. The difficulty of a 51% attack increases with hash rate, which is up 100 times in the last 3 years. Not only are 51% attacks reaching the 10 figures of cost to accomplish, to make any modifications to the blockchain, you need 80% or more of the mining power to actually get those pushed through. That democratizes the updating of Bitcoin and makes hacking it and muting it almost impossible, which leads to our next point, immutability. Try as they might, it is simply impossible for governments to ban or mute Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized, Bitcoin is immutable. Why is it immutable? Well, we just talked about that. Bitcoin is immutable because it is unhackable. It sounds impossible for any one entity to hack Bitcoin. Even world governments would have a very hard time doing it, and we'd see it coming a mile away. Because of this, everything that's good about Bitcoin that liberates our power from central governments back into our hands is completely impossible to take away. Number 6, power players switch side. We've seen PayPal, we've seen Mark Cuban, we've now seen Drunken Miller switch sides. Over the last 3.5 years that I've been in the cryptocurrency space, I have seen just about everyone bash Bitcoin. In fact, if you go to 99bitcoins.com, you can see that Bitcoin has died, according to the media, 383 times. Well, every single time that it dies, I make more money because I'm in Bitcoin. As the years march on and Bitcoin dies more and more people are getting on board with Bitcoin. More people that are worth billions of dollars, increasing the amount of investment going into Bitcoin and increasing the trust in our favorite cryptocurrency. And last but not least, number 7, infrastructure investment. Think of the number 5 most valuable companies in the world. You're thinking of technology companies right now. You're thinking of Amazon. You're thinking of Apple. You're thinking of Alphabet. Why are these companies so valuable? I'll tell you why they're so valuable. It's because they are infrastructure. Every single one of these companies has its own product, but then it has a platform. What is Google's product? Well, their product is a search engine. But what is their platform? People being able to rank their businesses on their search engine. What is Apple's product and platform? Number 1, their product is iOS. What's their platform? iOS. Not only do they sell things through iOS and iPhones that use it, but they also allow other businesses to build on top of their infrastructure. What is Amazon's product? Oh, I don't know, a $3 trillion global distribution network that can get packages around the world in 48 hours flat. But that's not just a product, that is also a platform. There are many people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on Amazon FBA. There are entire businesses that are only shown on Amazon pages. All 3 of those companies have a product and they have a platform. Bitcoin is the exact same thing. It's a product. In this case, it's a currency and a commodity and a store of value, but it is also a platform because it builds companies like mine, investment companies, research companies, technology companies, blockchain companies, and more on top of its platform. Bitcoin, just like the big company power players, is not only a product, but it is also a platform, and that will drive it into the hundreds of billions of dollars in valuation and beyond. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to share it to all your friends so that they can learn about the gospel that is Bitcoin. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe to our channel over on CryptoJeb. That will do it for today's video, but before I go though, guys, I do just want to first thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video.